TV Burp. Suicide gnome on Corrie. Microwave toilet on Lewis. And after the success of Dancing on Ice, ITV announced new show that's even more dangerous, Diving with Crocs. Well, there was a shocking high-speed accident on Albert Square this week. If you're of a nervous disposition, look away now.
You can stick your job, and you can stick your car, but I think with the law,
Nasty. A number of tops ruined, several thongs rendered virtually useless. Did nearly 6 squid's worth of damage. The problems between Max Branning and his wife Tanya continue, but instead of marriage guidance, they decided to settle it once and for all with an arm wrestle. Hey. Max's arrival for Tanya's affections in the shape of Sean Slater, and it all came to a head in the Queen Vic.
Yeah, to me that just don't seem fair somehow. No?
Capital sense is more like I'm warning you.
Don't leave us alone, we can do.
Look, stop it, the pair of you.
Everything all right?
Yeah, it's fine, Phil, it's nothing.
What is this, Baldies Unite?
Yeah! Baldies Unite!
Okay, can I have a go?
That's it, Duncan, you terrible!
Let me have a go, Harry.
That's it, our nice one! Baldies Unite! Baldies Unite! Meanwhile, Tanya was round at Stacey's for saucy underwear. Yes, there was a party. There was food provided. What's on the menu?
Right, girls, here we go. Cheese and tomato, cheese and pineapple, cheese and mushroom.
Got anything less cheesy? Who are you expecting, Dave Nunley or Freaky Eaters, cheese addicts? Yes, Freaky Eaters this week told the story of Dave Nunley, who was addicted to cheese. Cheese. And crisps. Crisps. So, let's have a look at some of his typical meals.
If I'm tired and perhaps can't be bothered to stand in front of a cheese grater for a little while, or just had a hard day, I suppose, then I should go for the easy meal, just off the lump, just with a packet of salmon crisps.
Yeah, it's much better off the lump, isn't it? Oh, it keeps its flavour better.
This is dish number 2. This is my hula hoop special. Very simple. You just want one ready-cooked hula hoop.
And he's getting extra minerals from those fingernails, too. So that's where the holes in cheese come from.
Here we have dish number 3. Grated cheese.
This is like a cookery programme for a mouse. No, I shouldn't laugh, because it's caused his whole family a lot of grief, particularly his sister. You see, all she wants is to share a restaurant meal with him.
David, to me and to the girls, and I'm sure to Dan and Harry, it would mean a great deal if you could enjoy even a McDonald's with us, so we could go out together.
What's he going to order, a cheeseburger without the bun and the burger? So, what are the alternatives to cheese and crisps? Over to you, food expert Natalie.
Before Benjamin gets Dave communicating, nutritional expert Natalie will be attempting to get him to do the impossible and eat something other than cheese and crisps.
A tortoise? It's lovely, that. Oh, that's not bad, that. And they're very easy to catch. So it's the usual thing. Dave has set a challenge.
Your challenge, your goal for the end of this process is that after 4 weeks, you're going to be able to sit down with your family and share a hot meal.
So, how's he get on?
Dave has got hot chicken on his plate.
ate a piece of chicken! Enough. What's the most unusual guest you've had round this week?
At 2:43 p.m, the tornado called at Martin's house.
And said, "Can I have my ball back, please?" Of course not. Worst weather, storms. And for most of this show, presenter and weather expert Nick Middleton hung out in a wind tunnel.
Let's try some leaves again. These should shoot straight out.
Shouldn't you be at work? You got any cheese? That's enough. Turn it off and go and do your homework. I wonder what it would be like if Emmerdale was a musical.
It'll do you both good to get away, and the business will be fine.
The business will be fine. See you down the Wolfpack later.
It's strange sometimes the nicknames people end up with, isn't it?
Do you like it, Crispy?
Why'd they call her Crispy? I've got a fair idea. Elsewhere, Perdita was trying to patch it up with Grayson. She'd bought him a picture.
What's this?
My way of saying sorry for last night.
Let's have a look at it then.
Open it.
I want one! Which brings us to our TV High Voice of the Week.
TV High Voice of the Week. What do you think you're doing, you opportunistic screecher? I'm not paying you. What?
So true to life, though, aren't they, the TV dramas? Just like life. Just when you think there's no way anything could go wrong, it does. Yeah. You're on your balcony, you get knocked off by someone upsetting down the flats. Could happen to anyone. This was, of course, Casualty, where someone is hurt every week and treated for it. And if you're a regular viewer of Casualty, you were probably as interested as I was to hear the origin of Ab's nickname. Abs, short for Absbestos. I always thought it was short for abseiling down a building and killing someone. Silly me. She wasn't killed, actually, but very nearly, and her poor son was beside himself. I think you'll find it belongs to the council. Actually, yes. Yes. You want him at the council's house, all right. But there's always someone worse off than yourself, isn't there? Yes, a fella died, and his poor brother wasn't given very long to say his goodbyes. It was never a minute. What's that, dog minutes? Yeah, the police were involved this week on Casualty. Well, the human police, but in fact, the criminals had been apprehended initially by the meat police. Yeah, first a couple of pieces of pork tried to stop them, then a big piece of beef managed to keep them there till the human police turned up. Want to see the clip? Here's the meat police in action. First, he's apprehended by the pork. And then he's finally apprehended by the beef.
Where do you think you're going? Come here, you.
Yes, the meat police. That's actually a new show they're bringing to ITV1 to rival BBC's Life on Mars. Just like they did with Primeval and Doctor Who. My name is Sam Tyler. I had an accident and I woke up as an oven-ready chicken. Am I mad, in a coma, or back in time? Whatever happened, it's like I landed on a different planet. Now maybe, if I can work out the reason, I can get home. which is better, Mars or meat? There's only one way to find out. See you after the break. Welcome back to TV Burp. Man on Emmerdale gets face washed by man on Emmerdale. On Emmerdale. Environmentally friendly ram raiders on Lewis. And we find out why Paul Burrell walks that way.
Yes, you iron underwear.
You know when you've got an overdue video of blockbusters, they can turn nasty.
What do you...
Of course not. This was the bill, and for a moment this week, it seemed like they were trying to sell me something.
Davina, it's getting very difficult to believe anything you tell us.
Look, he gave me this first of all, and then he gave me this. And I said to him that I didn't want them, but he insisted. Last piece of jewellery he gave me was this.
I thought I'd tuned into the shopping channel.
Davina, it's getting very difficult to believe anything you tell us.
He gave me this first of all, and then he gave me this. And I said to him that I didn't want them, but he insisted. This piece of jewellery he gave me was this.
Yeah, I'll have the ring, please. And the Troppomatic hasn't turned up since before Christmas. Yeah. And how much are your Giorgio Zambelli handbags?
What did you buy it for? £100?
Is that all? For a Giorgio Zambelli handbag?
I'll take 4. June Ackland was heading for retirement, so maybe she's D-Mob happy, but she did seem in a rather childish mood.
When I left you last night, I saw the DAC and the superintendent. They were kissing.
Superintendent and the DEAC, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. That's not all. That's not all. I saw them kissing in the swimming pool. He took her to a sweet shop, bought a bubble gum, and when she wasn't looking, he stuck it up her butt. Oh, grow up. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week. TV highlight of the
Are you dreaming of? Fish.
Remember the 70s? Well, if you do remember the 70s, you'll love Channel 4's Never Did Me Any Harm, where today's mum figures it would be a good idea for her kids to get a taste of what it was like in the 70s. And it brought it all back to me. The clothes.
It's rough and ready.
Those giant pyjamas, remember them, girls? And what about the transport? Hang on a minute. Horse and cart. Who's doing the research on this show? Is this the 1970s or the 1870s? They're making it up. Even the weather was different back then. These days, it rains cats and dogs. In those days...
We should encourage everybody to have a little whistle, unless people get quite embarrassed, actually, won't they?
Just cats. Remember Agadoo with the hand movements? Well, the MacIver family have come up with their own version.
Each night, face, your feet, your armpits, and your private bits.
Face, feet, armpits, private bit. Face, feet, armpits, private bit. Face, feet, armpits, private bit. Well, you get the idea with that. But, of course, the great joy of this programme, if you did grow up in the 70s, was the chance to see some of the old TV shows. and one in particular that united the nation every Saturday tea time with viewing figures of upwards of 23 million.
What is it? It's a television programme that I used to watch when I was a little girl.
Hi guys and gals, and welcome to Television Burp. We're professionals now, and isn't it strange when you mistake a wine goblet for a microphone?
Coronation Street, moving! Going to Cowley, over!
It's a wine goblet, Cowley.
Have you read the papers?
They say never work with animals, but what do the animals say? Well, they say never work with Susie Birchall off Coronation Street.
He can stay for tonight as long as he doesn't keep me awake with his yowling.
Oh, he won't yowl, as long as he's dry and fed.
Oh, mind me, Ed. Which brings us to our TV highlight of the week.
Boy, they just go on about the same thing.
Good girl, Petra. Hi, Harry. Peter Purvis from Blue Peter.
Have you noticed how the test card girl looks just like that Jenny Hanley off Magpie?
Thanks, Peter. But which is better, Jenny Handley or the test card girl? There's only one way to find out. Fight!
Come on, you don't like it? Well, it does seem very dated and slow, doesn't it?
Happy times. There was a new character on Coronation Street this week, Mr. Cushionhead, who works at streetcars. Yeah, the great advantage of a driver with a cushion head, you don't need an airbag in the car. Meanwhile, Jason was really getting the hang of this parenting lark.
Go to sleep, my baby. Close your pretty eyes. It's time for little Holly to go to bye.
Sweet. Jason's Book of Nursery Rhymes. Yeah. I've got it there, though. There it is. Let's have a look, see what we've got. We've got is that one there, obviously. Go to sleep, baby. Close your pretty eyes. And so on. And then my favourite, it's another one he's done. Rock baby, the pram. I just plastered these walls. Then go down the Rovers. When the electric drill is on, baby wakes up, I'll never get the calf finished. Yeah, it's nice. I think my favourite bit of Corrie this week was Steve McDonald having a wee. Always nice to see. But the big story was the discovery of an unexploded German bomb.
Go on. Oh, my! It can't be. What? Well, I could be wrong, but I think that's a bomb.
What with the bomb and the talk of the Second World War, it reminded me a little bit of Dad's army.
Thanks, everyone. You've been brilliant.
What time is
Thanks
it,
for your
Norris?
patience.
If you think we're on the run, we are the boys who will stop your little games. We are the boys. Well, that's pretty much.
Mr. Hill? Can't see when you're ready.
Right. Well, that's all from us here. And to sing us out, it's the McIver family from Never Did Me Any Harm.
dancing on ice.
In a desperate bid to make it through to next week's semi-final, our famous 5 remaining stars will not only be taking to the ice,
but they'll be taking one of these with them. Oh, yes. That's coming up. Coming up next,